Uh-oh.
Man, it's been a
I'm gonna
while.
be quiet.
Hours,
No, it's not time to be
Look.
Nah, Joyce, that's ass backwards. That's not. It's time to talk.
He said it's time to talk. I'm quiet.
Yo, what's good, world? I was gonna say Brooklyn, but we touched the world, man. Hip Hop Closet. How many countries have you sent parcel to, Kai? Do you know that number?
That's a crazy question, because a lot.
I know.
Yeah, I don't
From
know.
back in the day, it was a lot. Like in the 90s, it was a lot.
Yeah,
Because you used to get like a lot of military people.
A lot of military people.
Right.
Australia was our number one place we used to ship to.
Interesting.
That's interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's up, world? So that's why I gotta say what's up, world, because it's what's up, world. How's everybody doing? I hope that you stayed dry today. It's nasty. This morning I woke up, I ran some miles, and then I decided to walk to work, and I saw Kai and Dan walking. I saw Kaisha and Dan, my partners in crime, outside. How many miles y'all did?
Today we did 6.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That
6
is
miles?
beautiful.
6 miles.
They be on their walk. Dan had his umbrella in his pocket. Like,
yeah. We walked the neighborhood, walked Bed-Stuy. We running into people.
yeah, I know y'all do.
Yeah,
I know.
all the time.
So that was a thing during the pandemic, and even after the pandemic, I would see Kai and Dan. Like, so I run and they walk. So like I'll see them like walking while I'm running somewhere. But they was getting it in. Like I think at what's the most miles y'all walked? 12?
Yeah, 12. Like we'll walk to
One way,
brunch.
12?
We'll walk to get on my new
Or
shit.
6 and 6. Like 6 out and then
And
6
6 back.
back.
Yeah, 6 out and 6 back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to be like 12 out and then 12 back.
No, because that's a whole marathon and
No, but y'all be getting it. Y'all be getting it. Shout out to Dano.
Yes.
I just had dinner with the council member, Chi Osei. Chi is the son of Reggie Osei, Combat Jack. And so,
Jack.
yeah,
Rest
Combat
in
Jack's
peace.
son
Oh.
is the council member for Bedford-Stuyvesant and Crown Heights. So we just had a great dinner. Shout out to Chi Osei. We had a wonderful conversation. It's just been dope, man. Today's been a dope day. It's been busy, but it's been dope. How was your weekend? Kai, how was your weekend? I don't remember the weekend. I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember the
You
weekend.
don't?
Nah, I don't.
What did I do?
I don't remember the weekend.
I don't know what you did. I wasn't here.
I did a lot because I feel like I was out. Shout out to Assembly Member Stephanie Zimmerman. I was working with her on Saturday.
We went out somewhere together.
We
Didn't
did
we?
go
Y'all
out
went to Harlem.
somewhere.
Y'all went-
Oh, on
Oh,
Thursday.
yeah.
Shout
That was
out,
a good
but still, shout out to Love in Harlem. I want to give love to Aria and
Yes.
Tammy
What is that?
Ford.
Oh,
so,
yeah, no. I know. Once you said Tammy Ford,
Yes.
then I knew who Aria was. So
Yes,
you
that's
don't
the
gotta tell me what it
family.
is.
That's the
I already-
family.
Yeah,
I know
Every
it's
Thursday.
sexy,
Sexy.
incredible.
Amazing.
Yes,
right? And then
because-
it's the people. It's the family. It's the people we've been partying with for the last 30 years.
Right. So I apologize for interrupting while you were saying thank you.
You ain't got to. Come on now. You ain't
But
got
yeah,
to
no,
apologize.
for the people.
Yeah.
You said Tammy Ford.
Tammy Ford, Aria. Who else is on it? Tess Smooth and Goldie are the DJs. Shout out to Tess Smooth. Shout out to Goldfinger.
Where?
Skinny Cantina, 133rd and 12th.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday, you're going to see me up there. If I just do a walkthrough, I'm going up there because I love it. I love what they're doing. Shout out to, IPX events. Right?
IXP, I think.
Whatever, they lit too. That's the family. Jay, how was your weekend? You ain't come on Thursday. What happened?
Nah, because we went down to D.C.
Oh, you down in D.C.?
Yeah, we drove to D.C. Friday morning, so it didn't make any sense.
It didn't make no sense.
How was your commute
It was-
post the bridge
So
energy?
now it was actually pretty easy because we avoided that. Like, Google Maps updated, but you could see where it said the bridge was like not there anymore. But we went to see Robert Glasgow's orchestra playing at Kennedy Center. They did a Dilla and Duke Ellington tribute. Layla Hathaway, Bilal, Slum Village, and De La.
That's
so
amazing.
They came out. Yeah,
That
it was
sounds
a crazy. The show was amazing. It was a beautiful show.
Yeah, that sounds dope.
So we had a good time.
And shout out to Rob Glasper, man. That's my man. He used to play, so a lot of people don't know this, but you remember Pork Knockers, Kai?
Yeah.
I met Robert Glasper. He used to play in
wow.
Pork Knockers back in the day, right?
Okay.
For $50 a set type shit,
Yeah.
right? So, to see his growth and development is crazy because Rob lived in Clinton Hill. He lived in the hood, and he used to play out at Pork Knockers.
Oh my
And
God.
how he's-
And now he's Robert Glasper, right?
Right.
I love y'all.
right.
Aria's
You know what I'm
checking
saying?
in. She's listening from her flight. Shout out to a tribe called
A Style Called Quest, always.
And
That's our
Kamiki,
number one.
Whiskey, Brooklyn Basquiat's in the building.
Oh, shout to them, man. Shout to Brooklyn Basquiat, man. We got a lot of good. Our tribe is just so dope, man. Shout to April Walker. Where is she? She's like in like Belize.
Grenada.
Grenada, right? She's in the
Greens.
Greens.
Grenada. Potato.
Right.
So let's get centered and let's get this started. This is, to
yes.
me, when Kai told me this morning, because she told me this morning while I saw her, that I would be interviewing this icon, this legend, this woman. Immediately I got excited because one of the things that has taken place over the course of our kind of moving Hip Hop Closet into a media space, right? So moving it out of strictly lifestyle and into the book signings and into the parties and into the karaoke and into all the things is a lot of the people that are in our inner circle have connected us with people that are legends, right? And the connection has just been pure, organic, right? But those connections have kind of allowed us to be who we are in the space of hip hop. Jazzy Joyce is one of those connections. Jazzy Joyce is somebody who's been connected to Hip Hop Closet for some time, and who has always been amenable, which is why she's sitting here now. Is because she's always come at Hip Hop Closet from a space of yes and not from a space of no.
Oh wait.
What happened?
Kia's saying that there's static and feedback.
There's static.
Where would that come from? Would that be coming from the other mic?
Possibly the microphone.
The mics may be too close together.
Yeah, maybe.
Move that
Yeah,
way
let me
down
move
a
this
little bit.
one.
Thanks, Kia, for letting us know.
Like, is it? Do you hear it now? Let me move this here
Is
because
this
I can
better?
talk loud enough for it to hear.
Spread
Can you hear it
out.
now?
Can you hear me now? Mic check, mic check.
Is it better?
We're gonna wait for her. But let me just tell my story.
Go on, tell
real
your
quick
story.
of how I met. Oh, it's Marlon. Yeah, she said it's Marlon.
It's better now.
I think it's better now.
All right, yeah, because they was too close together.
I went to a party,
Mm-hmm.
a firefighter's party. It was his birthday party, and it was one of those nights. It was a night like this, and I did not want to go. Oh, it's still static for Aria. Oof. Let's move this mic down.
Yeah, let me move this one because I can talk loud. So let's see. Does that help?
All right, yeah. Keep us posted.
Which one?
Marlon is still a little wonky. All right.
Do you hear me clearly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it battery charged?
Right. Is the
It's
battery
fully
up?
charged. I charged it.
So
How's
how's
the
this?
Yankees starter jacket? Okay, I'm sorry.
How's
Thank
it
you.
sound now?
Hold on. For the
better now.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
he said it's better
Hold on.
now.
All right, so that's how
Hold
we gonna
on.
keep it.
Okay,
Shouts to
yeah, you
Tex.
just talk. Yeah.
Text.
Jazzy is great. Okay, well that's good.
Mhm.
We don't really need to hear Marlon.
Don't really need to hear me, right?
Thank
But go
you.
on.
Shouts
Okay,
to text
So
starter.
I get up. I'm like not even wanting to get out of the bed. I'm like laying in the bed. I'm like, this is like I don't feel like going out. I don't feel like going out. Anyway, I pulled myself together. I went out, and that's the night I met Jazzy. Like I'm out, and
it was
somebody.
a Halloween party.
It was a Halloween
'Cause-
birthday party.
Right.
You had on one of your pieces, and somebody just came up to me randomly, like, "Yo, do you sell that?" Because you know everybody, anything people like.
They
"Do
think you sell it,
They-
right?
And I was like, "Nah, but you want me to find out?" So I approach her. I'm like, "Where'd you get your jacket?" She was like, "I made it." I'm like, "Bet."
Right.
And it was just history from
from
there.
That's funny.
Like,
I
we
met
immediately
I
started
met
working
Jazzy
together.
at Milk River.
For real?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. You came to Milk River maybe 2014. I think you were DJing or whatever. I was a GM at Milk River.
Oh.
And as soon as I met you, it was like you was like love. Like it was like,
Thank
I
you.
got your number and everything. We exchanged numbers. I used to hit you about shit. Right? Like, and this is so it's 10 years coming. But I'm saying all that to say, man,
Okay,
that
wait.
Wow.
I'm smiling.
I'm sorry. No. The comments. I gotta get back. I gotta just say this real quick.
What?
OSD Paper Chaser Sean is in the building.
shout to Sean.
And he has breaking news. I see those classic vandals that Joyce has on, and she wins.
She wins immediately.
Wait,
right?
but hold on. Did you peep the zip tie?
I see those.
Oh wow.
That's what it is.
Well, he says she wins. That's it.
Yo, Sean, we need you to be the weekly judge. I like that. We need you to Chime in.
And these are
Come on
classic
for a few minutes and
throwback.
just tell us who wins. Because, yeah,
Right, 'cause
that's...
he's like, I don't even need to see anything.
She don't even see nothing else, right?
Sorry. Okay. let's
So,
get
I mean, I'm saying all that to say that when a legend's in your midst, you pay homage, you pay respect, you pay honor. I've always tried to honor this woman, and I think that you should always try to honor this woman. I think that, you know, as I wrote in the thing, you've charted pathways for women in this culture. And I think sometimes that went unheralded. I don't think people really understand that. And that's what I want to get into today with you is kind of some of that story, but also just to holler at my friend and have a conversation, right?
Thank you.
And so that's what we're going to do. I want to introduce to some and present to others my sister DJ Jazzy Joyce.
Thank you. To hear a story from the past about a great experience about me,
Yeah.
with dealing with me, because
Yeah.
sometimes I think the stories that are sold are sold from the point of when I get serious, in a serious situation, and the story doesn't get told from the top of it. They only tell it from when I
Flip. Right.
get
Right. Karate
and-
Joe.
Yeah, and then I
Yeah,
get these
so-
back. So I was smiling as I was listening to an experience of myself. Like, and one of the things that I don't think people realize how much I've done or been a bridge or a connector or a reason until the story starts to get told, and then until people start telling the truth
Right.
about who assisted them or who didn't.
Because a lot of times ego will have people take the support from you, and then once they get on, they totally forget about that.
Oh, hell.
And that's very common in the world that we're in the culture that we're in, right?
Definitely.
Right. Let's start at the beginning with you. Where did you grow up?
The Bronx, New York.
Where in the Bronx?
I was born in the first Lincoln Hospital, the original one. It doesn't exist anymore. And my mom was a nurse and gypsiest. Like, you later learn as you mature, when you look back on your life and you don't understand the things that happened, it probably was like the eviction run, if you will. You don't realize it, but why are you moving?
Moving from spot to spot all the time is because the eviction run.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So I'm born and raised Bronx, and pretty much lived in every section.
Every part.
Yeah,
of
like
the Bronx.
I lived on the concourse, and then I lived in Parkchester, and then I lived in so many other different sections, and it didn't allow me to forge lifetime friendships.
Talk
You
about
get,
it.
you know that
Because you weren't settled in a place,
in a neighborhood
in
or
a neighborhood,
right,
in a community.
right. I
Right.
couldn't say, oh, my friend Keisha has been my friend since second grade and stuff like that. It was like military kid mind. Like when you hear the stories
Military
of military
brats.
kid,
Right.
right? Then I made the correlation. I was like, oh, okay. So me being there and hip hop being born there, it was an accident, but not an accident.
Now, the Bronx in that time frame was a myriad of conditioning. So there were parts that were completely burnt out, right? Then there were parts that were completely residential, like Arthur Avenue up there by that way, right? Like, how did the environment shape you as a kid? Because I remember jumping on dirty mattresses in old buildings, right? And the generation after us, they don't know what I'm talking about when I say
they
that.
don't know.
But I remember playing in abandoned buildings, jumping on dirty mattresses, right?
Playing Skelly.
Playing Skelly,
Playing in the
Coco
pump, when it-
Livio, and the
1,
whole
2, 3,
thing.
1,
Yeah, already, yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
It is, by right of my birthplace, it is the entire inspiration of why I am who I am and who I became today. Because to live where you see the graffiti trains and the young man who taught me was born, well, not born, I don't know where he was born, but He was from Forest Projects.
The guy that taught you what? How to DJ?
How to DJ. His
Right.
name was Anthony Carter. His DJ name was Chovy Chove. The building that his family lived in was 980, which is actually right across the street. Well, right across the project.
The courtyard
from where Fat Joe
Oh, okay. Right.
family lived. So
Right.
I know everybody older than Fat Joe, like his.
Like his OGs, his big homies or whatever, right?
So, just by being from the Bronx, seeing the trains, the young man who taught me how to DJ, he taught me every element of hip hop.
The pin, break dancing.
I was too. I didn't want to. When I tried to do the uprock,
Uh-huh.
and look, these long. I'm 5'7", so
Right.
you trying to. That's why you don't really see black people doing that. We have a different body setup. It's easier for a Latino body because they have the kind of muscles of the blacks, but they're shorter, so they're able to execute all. When you trying to put yourself down into a hip hop move, so I said, no, I'm not gonna do this part. And then early on, I knew I was smart. The world didn't know, and I knew that I couldn't be an MC. Because then, if I was, I would have been probably battling Roxanne Shante and the real Roxanne and stuff like because at that point, what are we talking about?
Right.
So the only thing I would have had to do
The
was
sample size was small. You would have been right in that mix.
Yes, I would have had.
Let me ask you, why did he choose to teach you the elements?
Okay. I had the first signs of Crohn's disease when I was about 7, which is another whole long story. But my mom working so much, I had health issues, and I was taken there to be taken care of.
Taken to his house.
Yes.
To be
taken care of because his mother was friends with my grandmother. So you know how when back then families who grew up together, like if we grew up, we cousins,
Right.
simply because of
just because of proximity. Correct.
Yes. So it was that family type of vibe. His mother and my grandmother were cool, and just by happenstance, because I was there for hours and hours, and this is what he did. He was a DJ. He had 7 MCs at that time. So every Saturday, I would have to wait till after the karate flicks go off.
Of course. I remember those days.
You're right.
Saturday at 11 o'clock.
From 11 to 3.
To 3, right.
I'm like, yo. So these are the kind of rites of passage, ritualistic things that I had to adore to be able to have the opportunity to touch the turntable. So not only did I have to wait till 3 o'clock, I had to wait for him and his 7 MCs to go through everything that they go through. That which me not knowing was I was also getting the education on how to be the DJ for
a group. Right.
Which later we understand why I became so prolific with it. But those were the formidable foundation.
The devil was like, yo, this young girl, you trying to...
I wasn't outside yet.
Right.
I was still upstairs in the project. What happens is, obviously one of them 7 MCs was going outside telling the rest of the world what was going on upstairs.
Right.
And then, like I said, by proximity, born and raised in the Bronx, everything is bubbling in the Bronx. They right there in Forest Projects. Everybody is around when you think of where everybody came from and whatever was going on. And that was the start.
Right.
That was the foundation. And from then on, it just went.
How old were you? How old when you became
known?
Adept? No. When you became adept at DJing, before you was known, but when you was nice enough to be like, okay.
13.
So 13, you going to school still?
Yes. You
getting good grades?
Absolutely.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to study mortuary science.
Shit, bro.
What?
I hated people
So you wanted to see their asses dead.
Not like when I say I hated people, but like I'm just telling you what my young mind was already.
Right.
That's why I said to you, I was smart. I knew I was smart. I was quiet because I was like, I noticed that when you let certain people know that you smart, sometimes it's like you gotta fight. It's what they say. It's harder for the smarter.
It's harder for the smarter.
So
now, what was it about DJing? Because, like you said, Chovy Cho showed you every element. Why DJing? Why was that the one?
I guess because it was more complicated and more intricacies in it versus just picking words on how I'm going to tell you soul apart. Like it was more interesting components, more to learn, more, and just everything intrigued me.
Right.
It was something that I didn't know anything about, and I was being taught. I didn't even know I was being gifted with such information.
I want to ask you this question. I've never asked nobody this, but I know I do it. So I'm a writer, right? And so sometimes when I'm laying down in bed, even when I was a kid, like this is not even now, I'm talking about at 13, 14 years old, I would be laying in bed conceptualizing stories, conceptualizing things I wanted to write. So as a kid at 13 years old and you DJing, and this is a new science, really, it's a new science at that time. Tell me about those nights when you were in bed, and did you think about this work? Like, were you thinking about blends? Were you thinking about, oh, I'm gonna mix that with that? Like did your mind envision this work in that way?
Later on. Later on. I definitely was. I'm always mixing in my head or thinking about, in terms of when you think about if I'm going to a region, everything. Yeah, that's later on. But yes, but in the early stages of the mind of the person that you're asking about, the study was my black book, which was part of the hip hop. So I was at the train station, the 4 and the 5 train, when they used to, he taught me every element to the max. I had to go to the train station. Not had to, but we went, and you know how you sit on the 4 and the 5 train, which was the 149th and 3rd Avenue? So when the train comes out of the tunnel and it's right there, like it's as if, you know, the bench that's
like
right
you
there.
Sitting there and it's coming right in.
There. That's the bench. That's like the graffiti bench. Like we would go sit there, and there's certain writers that he was taking me through all of that. His era is Lady Pink, Bantu, all of
So he come from 1.0. He come from the origins.
Yes, is what I'm trying to tell you. I still have my black book. My original DJ name was Joyce D. I was anointed Jazzy Joyce. I can't even tell you really who anointed me with that, but they probably got the idea of it because Jazzy Jeff was already out and Jazzy J had existed, and then based on whatever they saw, I was basically anointed.
Tell me about the first party you ever DJed.
It was actually at this club called The World. No, the Earth's Edge. I apologize. The Earth's Edge. It was on Houston Street. I still have the big flyer.
So your first party you ever DJed was downtown?
Yes, I was with is Red Alert, Jazzy J, and myself. We're on the flyer, the old school fade type of flyers. Fade was obviously phase 2.
Oh,
now,
phase 2. Oh yes. Okay,
I know Fade. Shirt Kings. He lived not far from me in the Bronx, but we were on the flyer. I was 13 years old, and I promise you, I want to say Basquiat was there and Andy Warhol was there.
I'm sure, because that was their time.
Right, and it was the melting pot, the end of the punk rock era. And the reason why I say they were there, because remember, you see their looks. It's memorable. Just like if any child that sees me now or saw me someplace else, I have a memorable look. Part of the reason for my memorable look is because I would travel so many countries by myself or whatever, just in the name of hip hop. I didn't want to get kidnapped or raped. You couldn't say you didn't see me coming through the airport. It was for my protection. Sometimes I look, big, so that I can be seen and safe. Like, oh, you can't say that you did not see me.
Right.
So a lot of times people may not understand.
It's a protective mechanism. Right.
Not to switch around and jump around, but when I cut off my hair, I disappeared for a brief second because everyone was so used to the fitted cap, the long hair, and everything.
I remember you.
And part of the reason why I cut my hair was because I had later in life had a 8-pound tumor, had to have a hysterectomy. My hormonal balance and everything changed, and I noticed the growth rate of my hair was slowing down, and I was like, I'm getting older, it's gonna change everything. I was like, I'm not doing none of these stushy, femmy, funny, all these transitional haircuts straight through, the bob to this.
I'm cutting it off.
I said, I'm gonna just do something brave. Well, who gave me the courage was right before Angela Yee went to start at the Breakfast Club. She was still on satellite.
Sirius.
Right. And she had, at the time, Keisha Kiori, who was Gucci Mane's, and she had the mohawk and everything. And we were all on the same interview at the time. And I had just met her, and I was like, I'm thinking about this. And she was like, she spoke life into giving me confidence to go ahead and do it. Right. And here we are. So shouts out to Keisha. I haven't seen her since then, but there's certain experiences that just shape you, and I'm thankful. Look at me. I had to learn how to maintain it. Everything, even if you think about all of the pictures, most of the pictures that you've seen of me in my lifetime, I was the stylist. Right. I was who could claim to be my stylist? Like, and that's what I say to a lot of people. I was either admired or hated for a lot of things that, like my style. Like, it cannot be store-bought. I have yet to economically be right.
Right. And I want to talk about that because that's a travesty.
Yes, it is.
That's a travesty. But before we even get into that, how's your health now? You mentioned the tumor. You've been good.
Yeah, I'm in remission. I'm just like in the fight for life, like all of us.
Like all of us.
You niggas is fronting. I be seeing the little front hints, and I'll be like, But it's okay. Not here to do any. It's realities, and people don't keep it real with a lot of stuff.
They don't, but it's difficult to ask somebody to keep it real with. They don't keep it real with themselves. So how the fuck can they keep it real with you?
Exactly. Right? So and I welcome you to ask me anything.
No, we're gonna go through everything. Yeah. We're gonna go through everything. I want to talk about that 13-year-old Joyce though, because now you in Houston Street, you DJing for Basquiat and Warhol and the whole downtown scene. You from the Bronx. Your moms let you do that?
It's interesting that you said that. Because I said to one of my peers that I've known from back then, I said, part of the reason why I exist is because of the neglect. Did you ever think of that?
Latchkey kid style. Yeah, that was how we grew up.
And I did something positive with
your time. With your free time.
It. That is it. So when you think about, repeat the question.
I was just talking about the fact that you were 13 downtown, and way far from home, DJing.
And then my mom, and you said,
right.
So
I said, I didn't mean to allow that.
So I said that recently to someone, a friend of mine, because they was like, yeah, I remember your mom, I met her and everything. I said, yo, my nigga, though, she never said to y'all, what the fuck are y'all doing with my daughter? Right. That's what, and he was like.
Right. She never questioned, where y'all taking my teenage daughter?
You know why? I think. Because remember, I told you I was very smart. However I feel to someone when I'm speaking to them, whatever the energy is, and imagine living with that. I didn't understand how I developed adult enemies. What I mean by that is like family members or whatever, they been hating you since you was little, and you can't make the correlation because you was telling them adult shit when you was young. So imagine my mother living in the house with this brain.
Right.
And she's not capable.
Right. They would feel it pompous. They would feel it like pushy. Like, why are you questioning this? Like,
a whole lot of energy.
Right.
You got to think of what the era is. I was born in the 60s. We don't know what her mindset is. And then I'm going off into uncharted areas and regions that she can't even assist me with.
She don't even know it because time is moving so fast.
And she's working, and I'm over here with the time that I have been allotted in between me dealing with my sickness. But what caused me to be sick? That's a whole nother thing.
With the Crohn's.
Right.
What caused it?
Crohn's disease is basically a toxin of stress and bad diet, bad food that starts to. So you think about
the ghetto,
right? Yeah. So, and I've lived in every section. What do they call slum, low income,
like any tenement in the Bronx you touch.
Not even just the the red zone, the poor section,
the poorest sections. Right.
That's where I was born and raised, and always just trying to be better than my environment, or inspired by it to be better.
That night with Red Alert and Jazzy J, what was it about the culture that you connected with?
I think because it was, like I said, the end of the punk rock era, and it was like the melting pot.
It was like that transitionary time.
The crack, the dope, everything. Yeah, it was very transitional. And like when you think about the idea of my mind making the correlation that Warhol and Basquiat was there, it's because it's a visual recollection. I didn't know they were Andy and Basquiat, but
you just knew who you saw them.
The just like when you look at a graffiti piece and it stamps in your soul, their imagery and everything stamped in me. And then later on, I was like, I think when I was little, but I was part of the young that was as they began to usher out of their.
That punk rock era. It was pushing forward.
And then look, who was and Fab Five Freddy, the connection with it, so. And Fab Five Freddy was in the rich world and in the hood, bridging. So he was the bridge. He was the bridge. So,
right.
And I was just plucked as a little bright, young individual. First of all, that was the start of the whole DJing thing, and then I was a female. And you think about how many decades I carried the torch
of being the
only female. Yeah, I was man. That's a long time. There was no around the world.
Right. So you go to high school, now you 14, 15, 16, you still DJing spots, parties in the Bronx.
No, what happened was...
Tell me what happened.
Did the downtown joint. Now, the downtown party doesn't mean anything to me. It was a part
because it's so far away from home. It's like,
It's not even that. I didn't understand that, what I was doing. It didn't
register.
It did. It obviously registered to those who utilized me. One of the greatest things that I was ever told was document your own history, because no one else will.
And did you do that? So go on.
I want to present everything correctly.
Right. So tell us about your history. How does that 13-year-old girl become globally recognized as a pioneer in the female DJing scheme, and not just DJing, but as females in hip hop? you came up. It was the Funky 4 plus one more. I think they had a woman in their team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what
That's
else?
Shyrock.
Right, Shyrock, and
like,
who else?
Back then, like, it was just about, this is all uncharted,
It's uncharted territory, right?
So everybody's trying to figure it out. Let me tell y'all a story on here.
Mm-hmm.
That there's plenty of stories that people don't know about. For example, the movie Beat Street. I was in it.
I didn't know that.
I was in Juice too. You see me in Juice in that scene.
Yeah.
But I was in Beat Street. But how I arrived at Beat Street was in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I was the DJ for Lisa Lee, Shyrock, Debbie D, and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
We all went to audition for the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then that was the last I heard from them.
Wow.
Until years later, someone told me that they was told to leave me out for whatever reason. And it could be a combination of things, because when you think Wanda D was in the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I battled Wanda D in the New Music Seminar after Cash Money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who knows who whispers who what? I don't know if it was, I think Harry the Belafontes was part of the producers of
the New
Beat Street.
Oh, Beat Street.
Yeah, whoever. Somebody said, get that bitch out of here. Somebody. Right? That's just one story that I never told.
Right.
All these years of some of the things that has happened.
Mm-hmm.
So every group that I collaborated with,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just walked away, it's a reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think that was? Do you think it was... Sometimes people want to take out those who are most intelligent because you are going to fuck up
The whole plan, right? It could be, listen, there are so many...
Like that said, my grandma would say, you're too smart for your own good.
Yeah.
Right.
There are so many questions that I had that I didn't even... You remember I told you I had signs of Crohn's, signs of it. I wasn't diagnosed until 17.
Mm-hmm.
So, just all of these things, like, I don't, some situations I don't know why, and then some situations I know why, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I was with Sweet Tea, one of the things that I was tired of was Herbie asking to use a lot of my records.
Mm-hmm.
He had his own, but I was like, I gotta get out of here. And then there's other dynamics.
But wait a minute, what do you mean Herbie using your records? Like, was he using them to like sample to produce?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I was like,
so you were like sourcing records, and he'd be like, "Yo, let me hold that and sample and make a beat out of it."
no, I would be like, no, go buy it yourself.
Right.
That's and that kind of energy is what got me on the Diggable Planets project, because again, they were searching for making money, the original. I had it. I actually had it, but I said I come with the record. And then once I came with, like, let me scratch on it. Then after that, we did the album that you hear.
Your voice was on that as well, though.
Yeah. Brooklyn.
Yeah. I remember.
I'm the first voice you hear
Mm-hmm.
on that record, and we did some incredible things. And like I said, each situation, there's a situation that caused me to leave because I couldn't take it anymore.
Financially,
Mm-hmm.
16, 17, 18, 19, you were coming into your own. Was you getting to the money at that time?
Absolutely not. That's part of the reason why I left with Sweet Tea. I was like, this split ain't right, because I need equipment. I'm tired of trying to negotiate with these guys to borrow equipment so we could do a show at Latin Quarters, because I got to be subjected to try to get my pussy thing. I'm not putting nobody out, but I didn't want to have to be subjected to a lot of, I want to be able to earn so I could get the equipment that I need so that we could.
And there was a thing, like, I don't want to quid pro quo this. Like, I want to be independent.
But I want, yeah, without. And from the beginning, I was fighting for.
Do you think if you didn't fight that you would have been better off? I mean, not better off spiritually or mentally, but better off financially. Like, you think if you'd have gave in to some of the wants, that
Look at. Okay, when you think about the fact that I could have possibly been Spinderella, but I said no there too.
how? Why? Tell me that.
Because it's the same camp, Herbie.
It's the same camp.
Like, and then when the original Spinderella got and I was like with the sweet tea, they was like, yo, we need some. And then Spin was manifested. So shouts out to her. And then you look at the end, like how she's dealt with.
Right, because now at this point they don't even. Right.
But that I had to, I see certain situations and I'll be like, I got to go now. Cause we gonna fight for. I don't want to fight. I want to fight for us to win, not us fighting each other and then coming out and acting like everything all right. No.
What could have been better at that time? Could you have had better management? Could you have had better negotiators? Like, because
Absolutely.
we know you as an icon. Like Jazzy Joyce. I remember the name Jazzy Joyce from as early as I remember hip hop. It's been one and the same. So
a lot of it was me. Like beyond the chaos. If you think of the due diligence that I did with my legacy and the collection of my mixtapes, I still got my mixtapes, y'all. And I'm kind of glad they never got posted. Like in the past 10 years, because DJs are not original. They would have been just left up as blueprints on how to do. They was doing that anyway, and there's still shouts to the bootlegger. There's some people bootlegging me. I haven't been searching and try to put the search out, but we used to search out the bootleggers. That's what made me stop doing mixtapes, because I didn't want to keep hunting down Africans.
Right.
Everybody named Abraham, stuff like that. So, but yeah, on the jump around of the timeline, please draw me back in.
So we're talking about now your late teens, early 20s. Now you're moving in spaces where now you're dealing with Sweet Tea, now you're dealing with Herbie. Like, you're doing parties still. You're known.
Not parties.
You really ain't doing parties at this time.
I was the Latin Quarters thing.
Latin Quarters, right?
Right. So then, remember I told you first signs of Crohn's. So now, boom. I'm basically saying to her, hey, I'm out. We did a small beat.
To Sweet Tea.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of the situations, I wasn't signed. They didn't see the value in me till I was gone. I was just a whatever. But then when you leave, they like.
Right, but that's crazy. Like, they looked at you like almost like a fill-in and not part of the whole.
Not in a sense, because when you think of what Sweet Tea gave, which was credit, the credit is more valuable than any of the money. I learned that from young when I used to listen to and watch artists like Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross is from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. He explained how when he was singing background for Change and all of those background vocals, and he explained how invaluable his name being credited was way more. That's why I understood. Okay, you jerking me, but just is my name? Okay, my name is there. My bag is coming. Because they can't take certain marks away.
So now we getting into the late 80s, early 90s. At what point do you start really leaning into like parties and stuff? Because I know you used to do like HBCU stuff. Like you used to do all that whole thing. Like when I was in college, you was doing that whole. Tell me about that time period where you leaned into that.
Because that's the start of the exploitation of the craft of myself, and just when you think about the nepotistic net of people in the industry, and that's how it started. They saw they could utilize me and is off into the system. It was just I was a new entity of entertainment, and then
Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy doing the parties? Did you enjoy hitting the?
Absolutely. But it's just that everything else around up until that moment when you touch the turntables and make you be like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this.
Tell me some of those stories that would make you feel like that. Like, fuck this.
Every time, anything. Like, I got so many stories. Saboteurs. We don't have enough time here for that. If I stood in everything that happened to me, I wouldn't be here today. And part of the, there's gaps in between everything. Because remember I told you the illness. So when you think about,
I was gonna go back to that
yeah,
too,
so when you make the correlation of, okay, we have how I got messed up, and then boom, I'm here, I'm running from over there where it's crazy, I'm going outside, and now outside is crazy. So my first surgeries and everything happened after me recovering from the trauma of everything that I did up until the sweet tea type of shit. And after that, I had disappeared seemingly to everybody. But I went and I was sick, and I had my first surgery.
How did you recover from the Crohn's?
I'm in remission now.
So it's a constant.
It's
It's not a absolute recovery. It's a constant.
It's different things. Like there's different photos of me where you can see when my face was fat and all of that. That was from being on the
steroids.
Steroids,
right.
yeah, they treat things, but these are, when I look, the reason why I wasn't part of this
Hip Hop 50
is because my mom was like literally dying right in front of me. And the young man, Chovy, Anthony Carter, I had missed seeing him by one day because I went to a Hot 97 staff meeting, and I forever said that I would never let something like that keep me from seeing or going to see my loved ones. And he had childhood diabetes, and he died of a diabetic shock. Like, so I think if I could have seen him one day, I probably would have seen and been like, yo, we gotta get you some orange juice, we gotta. And I always felt bad. So when my mom was going through everything, when they were hollering at me to be involved, I couldn't move.
I don't want to jump around either.
No,
but I want to talk about, that's because one of the things.
Thank you, keep me in line.
That's one of the, no, I mean, we're going to go through all of it. You want to louder? So one of the things that you and I connected on was during Hip Hop 50, you and I had a conversation about, you remember that? When we were talking about managing you. And in that conversation, you were telling me how like shitty this whole process has been, and like people not respecting your status. And I remember this conversation well. You may not remember. We spoke for like an hour about this, and you really was like, you know, putting me on. You was putting me on about this shit, and it really unnerved me because at the time I'm booking acts for all these things, and it's sort of like you're a legend, and I didn't realize you was going through this shit, right? We was talking about the Bronx one, the event in the Bronx. And so just talk to me a bit about that. Like, how did we get here with you, right? You're on the radio, right?
Okay. And when you think about my radio career, how I got there was because, shouts out to Kid Capri, and I've been mentored and developed by, because of proximity,
right?
Bronx and just,
right.
So he's the one who insisted on me talking, number one. He was like, we all playing the same records, how are you going to differentiate between who's, like, if they how, you got to put your swag, your personality. I don't want to talk to these niggas. Fuck them, fuck you, fuck your mother, fuck everybody. Fucking Dan, shut the fuck up, fuck you.
She's a fucking Dan.
So he's the one. No, but these are the conversations we have. I mean, if people really keep it real.
That's real. Nah, keep it real.
So he insisted upon that, and then the work that I did I was making noise in the streets.
Yes.
So the stations had to, and at that time I've had, like, there's all of these stories of how many managers I've had, and but it's like, I went to school for bookkeeping and accounting. So even though if I don't ask you to see the contracts, I'm still seeing the numbers of the whole shit in my head. So when you start taking my deposits and playing with my deposits to take care of your bills, and then you floating, and then I slide up and be like, yo,
Right.
out of nowhere.
Right.
I mean, because you thinking I'm not seeing or understanding it.
Right.
And then when I pull you, it's like,
Right.
so then when it's an oh shit moment, I gotta go.
That's wicked.
Cause you, right.
That's
So
wicked.
this is from before I even got to Hot 97, the type of management
that you were dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke about that lightly
I
too.
do
Yeah.
So you know, it's like all my life.
Do you think you went through a lot of this shit because you a woman?
That too. And then on top of it, they think that when you think somebody's not as smart as they really are, and then when you get close, and then you realize, holy shit.
Right. What I really want to ask is,
Ask
do
whatever
you think a lot of this stuff happened because you're a woman and you wasn't giving up no draws?
I don't know. Look,
The sirens, the sirens.
Right. That's a good question. I don't know, because when you think about it, like, one thing I feel great about is like walking into any event and it's not nobody I done fucked in there. I don't gotta feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't be having that feeling.
No, but you know, no, but there's certain people that you know. I know that you,
Right.
it's like, ooh, girl, do you feel a little way? Because I know you did this and did that and this one and that. How you feeling? Oh, girl, let's go in this party. But I don't
having real talk tonight.
I didn't want those feelings. Like,
Right, you ain't want to feel that way.
Look, I was saying this. I said, who made me gay?
Right.
Oh God.
Who made me gay? I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Earlier.
No, I'm an only child. One of one from my father and my mother, but my father was a Rolling Stone.
In the streets, right?
Yeah. So I have a nephew. So he used to be like, Alter, you ain't gay. So I said, I made the correlation of who made me gay.
Right.
And it's gonna go answer your question of,
Okay.
do you think if I would have slept with it? So early stages, I was kind of dating. So one of the people I was dating was Cowboy.
Oh, Cowboy.
From Grandmaster Flash and all
Right.
that. So remember, he passed. But he had spinal meningitis, I think, something like that. But it was remember, I'm smart. My mom's a nurse. I was my mom's study buddy. That was the rise of AIDS and everything.
And the whole thing.
And the whole thing. So you got to look at this young, smart kid who understands all these big words and what they mean. And then I'm looking at Cowboy. I wasn't sexually active till later on in life. And that's pretty much basically all the niggas that I said no to, they made me gay. Because it's like, if you ain't giving up, she's gay.
Right, she's gay.
But I didn't even have a chance. But I did. Some niggas I wanted to drop this pussy on. But I didn't even get a chance.
Right.
I was like, y'all done made me gay.
Right.
So, but what with Cowboy scared the shit out of me, because I'm thinking he died of AIDS.
You didn't know it was the meningitis at first.
Except spinal meningitis, everything. So I'm thinking,
It's the AIDS.
Dick, die.
Right.
Dick and me,
Dick and you is gonna
die.
die.
I'm dying. Fuck these niggas. So from young, I was like,
and that's back in the day when dudes was dying of AIDS, like,
hello,
by the dozens.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Right.
Janice said you was scared straight.
Right. And then I'm like, I understand the words. I understand. My mom's a nurse. I understand this shit.
Right.
And then I'm this beautiful, not knowing I was beautiful, long hair. And then I'm this hip hop entity. If I ran down the list of niggas that tried, they probably don't even remember they tried. rest in peace, Old Dirty Bastard tried. So if Old Dirty Bastard tried, I'm not even,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna start the
you
list. Right.
May he rest in peace is what. It's not, but I was like, no, and no, and no. No.
So that's what made you gay. All the no's.
I done had some dick in my life.
Right.
But y'all niggas just made me. But then later on, it was like, the bitches came with everything else. I was like, they act better. It's different. This is something else. Fuck this shit.
She said the bitches came with something different. Right.
You know, so.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that would have been my choice of it, but later it became a preferred dish. I guess.
Right. It sounded like it was emotionally preferred though as well.
But I was scared gay, I guess.
You were scared.
No.
You were scared gay. Yes. You were scared gay. Yes, you were.
Not scared straight.
Scared gay.
Niggas down to AIDS made you scared gay.
I was like, dick is gonna get me dead.
Right. I'm not doing it.
I don't wanna jerk it, touch it, get it out. Nigga.
Put that on the shirt, Kai.
Right. Dick is gonna get me dead. We need that on a t-shirt.
He just said dick equals die. Can't take it.
No, but I'm just saying the mindset of this young person, like how I be.
But that's crazy because you was in an industry where everybody was fucking.
I wasn't fucking.
I know.
I
heard
didn't start
you.
fucking till late.
Right.
Like long. I almost was probably the person. Even when I was with Sweet Tea, I had a boyfriend.
Right.
When you see, there's a picture of me, Sweet Tea, and Joski Love in the limousine floating around the internet or whatever. But
See
my
if we
boyfriend,
can find that pic.
it's there. We in the back of like a limousine, whatever. But my boyfriend is not in the picture. He was there.
He was in a limo.
No, he was. I think that not there. When I think I'm mixing up pictures of my personal pictures, I have pictures. When you say you wrote down stuff, I journalized my life from 1981 to 2011 when I got let go from Hot 97. I couldn't write.
You found the picture?
I found a picture.
Oh.
It's like so classic. Like I love it so much.
Thank you. I stopped writing in 2011 because I would be crying too much. It was too much. Yeah, the circumstances of what was, not only had I been let go from Hot 97, so that was just like, get out of here, bitch. And part of the reason later I understand my being a disruptive force, we can explain about how
I feel you. I think you have been a disruptive force in a lot of ways.
Oh, yes.
Because of intelligence, yes.
We'll get it. So
What's that? That's the one?
This is one with Tupac,
Oh, okay.
DJ and Ron G.
Where are we?
We was talking about Hot 97, and after you got kicked out of Hot 97.
Right. So I was journalizing from 2000. So
You ever thought about turning that into a book?
absolutely. Who got some money?
Yo, shout out to Regina Brooks, Serendipity Literary Agency, right here in Brooklyn. Jazzy Joyce wants to write a book.
I have everything that's needed. It was just
Say no more.
It was just a matter of stabilizing and holding on. This stability, because one of the reasons why I think I was deemed disruptive when I was on my stint in Hot 97. You got to think I was disruptive because I was making noise in the streets. So they was like, bring her in. So I'm in the machine, and I'm frightened by payola and the rules they tell you is gonna right. So now, how am I disruptive? Because I never took payola.
What was more frightening, payola or dick?
Payola.
Payola was even more frightening than dick.
Yeah, you know why? Because of what comes with it.
Right.
Because remember, I told you the mindset is fuck you, fuck that, fuck that.
Right.
So if I'm taking payola, I gotta have dialogue.
Right.
Because how you gonna get the money to me?
Right.
But if I'm not taking the money, this how they used to be like, oh, you so mean. Because I used to be like, put the record down there. Like I
Yo, you want to touch it? I want to talk to you. Put the record down.
I used to be. I never went to the DJ meetings, none of that shit, because it costs money to come downtown and run back and forth. We not really making no money. I went to school for bookkeeping and accounting. That was my major. So I was like, this ain't adding up. Mail the motherfucking record. It's either I'm gonna play it or I'm not.
Because you got just sick and tired of the rigmarole.
The whole running.
The whole
around.
shit, right?
Send a record. So if I'm not there, you can make up any story about me. So there's these stories.
You became unlikable because of that. Because you in a system where in the machine,
But
it's like, yo, when the machine calls, you run to the machine.
I'm coming from 13 years old, being famous for something that I don't see nobody else doing. Want no other woman. I'm running. I'm the only female. That I had no Kim or some. I'm the only, and these niggas is mad at me. But I'm not understanding why. It's not an environment for me. I'm paying to go send the fucking record. Either I'm gonna play it or I'm not. So I'm not understanding how I'm Xing myself out of the machine rules.
Yes, you
I
are.
didn't know, but it's in my mind. It shouldn't mean anything because we're playing the music. This it's about the records. I'm not taking payola. I don't want payola because I want to be able to listen. So I listened and I made my decision based off of that.
But if everybody's doing it and you're not doing it, you become the problem.
I know, but I didn't understand what I was doing at the time. We could talk about it now, but I'm explaining to you. So. But I really was picking and going through stuff. It's not so. Let's say
a real DJ.
Right.
Yes. So
You
listen,
were being like the origin DJ, like you was.
That's why I became a tastemaker, and that's why an industry exec would negate all you niggas that's taking the money. They like fuck you niggas, cause you playing shit, cause you want to be paid. I know she ain't taking no money. Get that record to Joyce. Because it's either a yes or no. And you niggas is following her anyway.
Because if she play it, y'all gonna play it anyway.
But if she play it, she really means it. It's not motivated by nothing else.
By no bread.
So now when you think about that, the dynamics of that, once artists finally kind of figure out, I'm speaking to 50 DJs. I got to pay 50 niggas. Why? Where's Joyce? What is this about? So the ones who caught on and was like, she's the motherfucker with the foot in the back door. Her little toes is crushing. But so when you think of the certain people, I'm not going. It's artists that when I was no longer there, they then understood the value of me.
At the height of DJ Joyce, what was the furthest that you went? Like, tell me a situation where you were like, wow, this thing has really taken me here. It could be a place, like a location, right? Or it could be a moment.
I think it's just the whole journey in itself. I'm a poor girl from the Bronx. Not poor, but, you know, you understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying.
And I went around the world because of the turntables. I got Japanese friends. I've been to Belgium. I've been to, like, a whole, I don't even remember all of the.
You don't remember all the places.
I've had a passport since I was 13. Right. I was like, when I went to the passport office when I was 13, this is 80 something. I was the youngest person in the passport office. This was pre-computer, so everything that we do now digitally fast, it had to be done written. I had to go to the passport office. I was the only child in there, and I bought a fold-up chair. All of the adults said, what made you think to do that? I said, because in the small print it said expect to wait for about 5 or 6 hours.
Woo!
So I was
That's heavy.
I was literally
Like she read
the whole shit. Right.
I
That's only something that geeks and smart.
Right,
people do.
that's a
Like you
geek
say,
thing.
Geeks run the
Geeks-
world.
We were saying that today. Geeks run the world.
Geeks be, oh, listen, I went to a motherfucking free concert in Madison Square Garden with the bootleg fake tickets with the geeks. A bunch of geek bitches. They was like, yo, we going to see Janet. I was scared as fuck. You know how when you put the ticket
Right,
in
you have
the
to put
thing,
the ticket in the
and then
thing.
scoop,
Right,
scoop.
right.
I was like, bitch, you go first.
And that shit worked.
Right, the first bitch go through, we be like, ah! It's only the geeks, but it's only the smart. I'm talking about bitches was perforating. How you know how to perforate?
How you know to perforate the ticket the right way?
Geeks, bitch. One time somebody asked, no, I think I asked somebody this. Who would you rather be stuck with?
Right.
Like stranded.
Right.
Bunch of churchy bitches.
Churchy, right.
Or some hoes.
Right.
I said, put me with the
Put
hoes.
me with the hoes,
Put
right?
me with the hoes. We gonna get food. We gonna get ride. You smoke. You smoke. You gonna get you some. The type of weed you want, she
Right.
gonna come back with.
She gonna come right back with it, right?
We gonna get everything we need, and we gonna
Because
ride
hoes
by.
are resourceful.
Right, and
Because they
we-
gotta be hoes.
And we gonna ride by and pick up the church lady.
Right, on the way. It's a meme that be going around that says, ain't no crackhead ever wake up and worry about how they was gonna get crack. Right? Because crackheads are consummate hustlers. They know when they get up in the morning, I need to get $20 to get high.
Got to do it.
Right? And they gonna go out and get it. And they figure it out.
Yo.
Right? And you ain't never heard a crackhead worry about how they was gonna get crack.
Listen, some of their conversations with them is the most hilarious, delightful, dynamic. Because I don't know why people think because of a person's circumstance that they're not intelligent.
Well, that's why, because people base intelligence on circumstance. That's why a motherfucker will ask you, well, what do you do for a living? Because they're trying to assess who you are. That's why they ask you that. They don't give a fuck what you do for a living. They want to know what you do for a living because they want to know where to place you in the bandwidth of respect.
Or tribe, or
Yeah,
correlation,
right,
correlatable groups. I think about that. Like, what fucking tribe am I on? The gays, they know who I am.
They rock with you a little bit.
A little, but I was too expensive. I was.
See, you too hard on these motherfuckers out here. You ain't getting let niggas.
I was
and chicks, you too expensive. Like you too much. You too hard on.
You know,
them.
I've had a couple of bitches say to me, "You ain't all of that, Jazzy Joyce." I'll be just walking away laughing, giggling, like, "Thank you."
Dude, tell me about some of your industry friends, because I know there was a lot
I
of
ain't got that
animosity.
many. Who is my friend, my nigga? I mean,
I'm saying
I
that
know
you like.
DJ Scratch. I
Shout
love
out to Scratch. That's my dude.
Clark Kent, Rich Nice. I used to DJ for Rich Nice. He was on Motown. What female artist could I say? Who? Because that's a whole nother Pandora's box of shit.
Yeah, but I'm about to ask you about that because, like, when Beverly Bond put out Black Girls Rock, they never contacted you?
I was the first person to be ever on.
Oh, okay, yes, you should have been.
Hold on. Are we still? Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Let me get it. Stay there.
Oh,
Stay there.
okay. Because I was like thinking about. I don't want to stop that moment.
What you got?
I got. Anytime, when doing interviews, I come from the old school. So like when people used to come because I appreciate this, by the way, Hip Hop Closet. Thank you, because this is your time. This is dinner time. We could be eating, and this is time.
Real talk.
So,
yeah.
but back in the days when artists would show up for interviews and everything, they would give something, even if it's your own liquor, whatever that was.
Whatever it is, right?
Yes. So, I have wanted to paint a mural like this size. I wanted to do that, but didn't work out. I didn't have the canvases, and this is like canvas.
That's the canvas, though.
Yeah, the canvas piece, and this is, let that go. Let me see what I have for you.
Already loving Brooklyn.
Yo.
I'd like to thank Hip Hop Closet for giving me artistic, creative freedom and support early
when did
on.
you do this?
Thank you.
When did I first started talking to you about it?
It was maybe a couple weeks ago.
A couple
Wasn't
of weeks
even that long ago.
I hung it up like sometimes, just like most artists or whatever, they have their canvas before asking me to come here, I really wasn't going to give you this one because I wasn't pleased with it, but I did some tinkering to make it more
What you talking
like
about, Jazzy? This shit is
yeah,
hot.
yeah, thank you. So, but I really wanted it to be like that size. So
Right.
I'm gonna come back.
Right.
And
See, here you go working with the different elements of
So
hip hop.
hip-hop,
You
right,
see how
yeah.
you see how that works?
Here.
I
This
love
for
that.
you.
Wow,
Yeah.
yo,
And
that's
I
dope, man.
Sign the bottom and everything. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
dope. Can they see it? Y'all
I love
can
it.
see
Yeah,
this?
No, they see it. They love
That's
it.
crazy. We gotta hang
Oh,
this
that's
up
so
somewhere,
good.
Yeah,
Kai.
like it's like the size of like could be on a closet.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
like-
like like a real closet. Right.
Canvas, like a closet canvas.
Oh,
Or something.
I
this
love
shit?
that.
Yeah. So
Jazzy, this is like the best thing anybody's bought for Hip Hop Closet while we've been doing these interviews.
I'm humbly honored.
Shit.
Yeah. No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
This
so-
is dope, yeah.
Yeah.
This is so good.
There
Thank
you go. So
That's
yeah,
dope.
nah, it's like when you think of something like that, right?
Right.
And you asked me about the planning and stuff.
Mhm.
You see what I asked? I said, "Oh, how long ago did I?" Before I even sat here, I already.
You was
knew what
already
it-
doing it, right? Right.
Same thing with the mixes, or like if I'm going to a region, like when I used to come to play in Brooklyn.
Mhm.
There's certain records that's gonna ring off in Brooklyn that may not ring off in the Bronx
Of
or
course,
Harlem. You
right.
gotta understand that,
Right.
and I would always be mixing in my head or thinking in my head.
Mhm.
Or sometimes when you're just moving about and you take in music
Mhm.
and you hear a song and then I'm a DJ and I'm like, oh, I know what transition with that.
So you be thinking about that constantly in your head.
Everything pops in and out, just not constantly, but
Mhm.
it's just as we go along. It's like your nose hairs filtering out the. It's like your brain is like a filter, a sweeper, and you just pick up certain things that help you later.
How do you want the culture to view your journey and your legacy?
I want them to view it after I've done the book and some other stuff.
What's the other stuff?
Like after you see the book, they read the book, they probably might want to do a movie. Or
Oh,
something.
they're gonna Regina Brooks. I'm gonna tag Regina in this
Thank
because
you.
so Regina worked on Stick from Dead Prez. He dropped a book a couple years back.
Mhm.
Amazing book.
He's amazing.
He's an amazing.
I've
person.
seen him like the Dead Prez. You gotta understand they're sort of like underground, if you will, and not revered in a way that
Right.
you
Right.
would think.
Right.
You know, I'm thinking about seeing him as younger and like,
Yeah.
damn.
Nah, Stick is dope, man. Stick
Yeah,
is an
so
amazing
I
dude.
can imagine his story. It was amazing.
Well, he did about the 5 pillars of the RBG Fit Club. So he's created an entire paradigm of how to live, right? And it deals with nutrition, it deals with recovery, it deals with knowledge, it deals with all the pillars of the right and exact way to live, a healthy and holistic way to live, right? And it's an amazing book. I want to ask you about. I'm gonna name some people's name, and you just tell me about them. So you ready?
Absolutely.
So let's start with Tupac.
Oh my gosh. When I ran into him, it was shortly after all that rape stuff had happened, and I walked up to him, and he had this very just nasty attitude, because you got to understand, he's now not trusting. And I have that, I'm going over there energy.
Right, you like that anyway. Like, I don't really need to even connect with you.
I'm gonna go over there or whatever. So all of the people that were around him and everything, and I came in and I was like, hi, and he was just apprehensive and I said, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Jazzy Joyce. And when he stepped back, his smile was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. That's the experience that I have with him. Nothing more than that.
That's cool. How about Biggie Smalls?
Little C's can attest to this one. Going into Latin quarters. No, not Latin. what is the tunnel?
Mm-hmm.
The back section where all of the us
VIPs.
Yeah, because in the outside over, I went out.
Ridiculous.
It was a naked.
It was ridiculous.
Yo,
It
it was a nigga naked dancing in the middle of the dance floor. Everybody was like doing like this to him, not to put my feet on you, but they was kicking him because he was naked and sweaty and just all over. I don't know who gave him whatever they gave him.
It was a wild place.
The tunnel was, the security wasn't even
0 out of 10 stars. I do not recommend the tunnel. Okay, I will fuck what people say.
No, but it was the greatest. It was the greatest.
But it was a jungle.
It was the start of the unisex bathrooms and everything. So Biggie, we in the back. So I pull up. I got my Jamaican friends with me. I'm hanging with them. So we pull up and I'm like, oh my God. So they back there smoking everything, Lil Caesar. I'm like, yeah. So I go up to Biggie and I'm like, it's such an honor and a pleasure to meet you. Everything. And he was all quiet, looking like a big silverback gangster. But he's really amazing and sweet.
Right.
Yeah, he's one of my Gemini friends. I'm a Gemini.
I'm a Gemini too.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So he said, shut up, sweetie. He said, Joyce, I know who you are, but I had not met him. He knew who I was.
Right.
And that was it. He's very charismatic and amazing.
Little Kim.
The most she ever said was like towards the gap of life when your career goes with why you stop playing my shit? Like I was like, yo, come get shorty, yo. Fuck, she don't understand what's going, like the dynamics of it. It's not personal. That's it. But it's no hate, no love, no. It's just
it's just real.
Throughout the years, you know, we see everybody in passing, but I'm giving you like the the little.
No, great. How about KRS-One?
I recently saw him, and I wanted to hug him, but he kept his distance. He has his own, because you got to think, the industry kind of pushed out all of that consciousness, and I wonder if, because you remember, I was with the 80s niggas, and then I kept going. They stopped.
Why do you think they stopped?
A number of reasons. Everything was changing. The money, the way that music was being made, all of that. So I kept going, and I don't know if they deem me as a sellout or a messer-upper because I kept.
Because you kept going.
Yeah.
Right. And you did. You kind of was like intergenerational because you come out of that, but then you had a 90s vibe. Then you had a 2000s vibe when you was on the radio. Like you did keep reinventing yourself low key. Because even like I told you, when I met you in 2014, you were DJing at Milk River. Milk River was a decidedly young place. I don't think it was a young party you was DJing, but still, you had found your way into continuously moving.
I just was always fighting for my existence. I just was. You got to think. I've had 8 major surgeries.
8 major
that
surgeries.
Nobody, like a lot of the
all
surgeries.
In your stomach?
Yes, a lot of the surgeries were pre-internet stuff and everything. So when there was periods where I would disappear, you know, you have the surgery, then you got the 6 weeks of recovery to this and everything.
Then you gotta come back.
Right, but that was when you think about people who come back from almost dying. They come back and they be. So if you think about my impact, every time I came back, and if I'm going for this long, right? Music was moving slower, not like how now is. So, whereas a record might 6 weeks, a record peaks now. Maybe not even. It's either gonna make it or it's not. But back then, I could make the correlation and remember seeing how many times Madonna's first record got. Every time when a label invests in it, the new label puts their label on it. But that's every time she's getting more legs to.
Yeah, you're right. Some of these like number one singles years ago would be like 20. I remember 28 weeks on the chart, 45 weeks on the chart. You don't have that no more.
Right.
It's disposable now. Like you get 6 to 8 weeks, and then we on to whatever's next. You're not gonna be on the charts anymore.
And then a song will be hot. Then the video.
Would come out, throw it back up. Right. I remember
So,
that.
When you think about how long it took, and me physically making the correlation of the fact that it took 2 years for Madonna to break, 2 years for her first single, only simply because I was touching the vinyl and was there through the. So that's how much slower music was then. Right. Everything didn't start speeding up until after emails. How I made the correlation of everything speeding up, I was coming back from Jamaica after playing on with vinyl and banging on the wall and all of this stuff. And as I'm coming through customs and immigration, they telling me, I heard you killed it.
In Jamaica.
How the fuck?
Who told
But,
you that?
right, but
Instagram,
these are caught.
man.
No,
This before
this is
back.
emails wasn't even. This is when emails first started. Remember, we said the geeks
Hey, yo,
run the
Messenger
world.
said
The
it.
geeks.
Hey, well, right, the Sky pager.
Get-
The geeks is telling them.
This was when probably the blue Apple computer didn't even come out with the fat back booty.
Right. The clamshell.
Right.
Yeah.
My African friend was like, Jazzy, touch the computer. It's not going to break. Thank God I listened.
Shit.
Because here is when the intellectual divide happened in hip hop. I don't know if any of y'all. I received my two-way pager at the Source Awards. I was out in California. They gave certain elitists and whoever
They gave you two-way.
It's two-way. Immediately, that was the intellectual divide in hip hop. The geeks knew who the dummies was. The dummies was the ones, not dummies, but it was making up symbols and shit with because they didn't spell well.
Right.
That was the intellectual divide.
That was the intellectual divide.
That's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's like so many correlations of things that if you have a conversation with someone such as myself beyond what you've seen on the exterior, it's like so much deeper than just the surface. But
what are you doing now?
I am doing the symposium at Lincoln Center.
Oh, you're doing that?
Oh, that's Friday.
This Friday,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Shouts to Lincoln Center and Martha Diaz.
Martha Diaz, that's my sister. I love Martha.
Yes.
I just saw Martha. I went to something about Greg Tate at Columbia.
Okay.
And Martha was there.
Nice. So I'll be a part of the what is it? I don't want to leave any of the words out. This is the shit starters. It should be like
Joe
Fresh
Morgan
Rock.
is gonna be there. It's gonna be a bunch of beautiful women there.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to be. I'm honored to be in the room. What am I doing now? I was doing exterminating.
I know. Yeah, you told me. Yeah.
I had to resign. The chemicals
too much.
Yeah, because of all of the things that I have going on. My system is hypersensitive, and I knew, so I had to get out of there. And I'm going back in. So if you had enough
You booking
time.
dates?
Absolutely. Jazzy Joyce info@gmail. Holla. I'm ready. I'm doing a brunch this Sunday. Sherry's Bed-Stuy.
Oh, you gonna be over here this summer? Come through.
It's Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's on Malcolm X Boulevard.
Correct.
Yeah.
216.
Yup.
Come through. So just starting to get back into full-fledged. A lot of times back in the days, people used to be like, how did you do this and how did you do that? It's because I did nothing else but figure out how am I gonna get out of the hospital, and when I get out, I'm looking at these niggas, what mark am I gonna make? And everybody who like comes from there, they come out and so that's why I guess every time when you did see me strike, it's like it's impact because I was like, oh, I'm still alive.
Outside, nigga, I'm back.
Nigga, you still doing that? Let me
bounce back real quick, because I know you got a question, but I want to talk about that real quick, because that's a question in my head that I kept wanting to ask you, but didn't get a chance. These times when you had these surgeries, so somebody who's had surgery before knows how difficult it is to kind of get back, and you need support. Who helped you during those times when you were like having your surgeries, coming home, like what was your support system at that time?
I'm an only child.
I know.
So I've been unsupported from.
So you just was going.
Finding a way through the intellect, and then just because of everything that I took in that got me sick, pretty much, basically, it's the healing was, thank God, I get a minute to rest, and to be in silence. Yes.
God, what's your question?
So Janine, Jin 213, how did it feel to be on the radio so young? Did she realize how you affected the youth listening?
It felt like a job when I was on the radio, and because of everything that you go through within it, if I understand the beauty of the journey, but everything that you go through could kind of make you feel like
you're so pragmatic, and I think that that's something that get ostracized in the industry in that way. Like, there's people that if they would have been on the radio, I was on the radio, I was the hottest shit ever, their ego would kick in. But for you, it's like it was a job, and that's very real. Because that's really what it is.
Like it didn't allow you to be free. Like, I feel like DJing is a very free, like, emotional kind of
connection.
Right. Like, it's artistry, and on the radio, you're not allowed to.
You're in the machine.
Yeah.
No, but when we were in there, the time period that we were in there, before, because it was we were uncharted. That's why I stayed there for 15 years, because they didn't know when to cycle your bitch ass out. They not gonna tell me, oh, you know what? One time, one of my pimp friends told me, became friends later. He was like, I used to buy mad commercials when you had that little ladies' night thing going. But it made me realize how much more money was being spent on.
Because so the pimp was buying the commercials.
For his own holiday. We didn't even know each other. But look at the other monies.
He's like, oh, it's ladies' night?
Right, because they understood. But that in itself, within the machine, they not paying us. Right? Keep me on and milk it out until the end.
So the next one, Yummy Yomi Designs. She wanted to shout you. She shouted you out because she said, "Thanks for always playing my songs."
Okay.
And then no question. Oh, thank you for always showing up for the underdogs. We needed it at Motown back when Andre was president. So many great artists needed the love.
I did my best. Like, if you really, I'm telling you, I met, we could say white, like, nobody, I don't know, I'm being funny, but, like, so I've met some executives, and they would say who I am, and they would just be like, they would shake my hand, because there's a list, my niggas, who take money. They knew I would, and let me just tell you this.
That's real.
And let me tell you how in my mind, the theory of the sneaker culture. Because a nigga like me, who's the only child, was dressing and fly and everything. These niggas is a little dirty. You got Dame with that type of energy. Nigga, you need some info.
Right, Dame would shout your whole shit out.
Right, so that's the type of energy. And they sending them out as soldiers, doges. What you do? What Jay-Z does? What he did? Buy all them sneakers. You think all them sneakers was for him? And the symbolism of it, that's how they was kind of, those who didn't understand the business, the structure, the payola, that was a soft
pay.
Right.
That's what we had Sneaker Joe on here who was supplying them.
Who was supplying them, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That was a soft pay.
But you think about how the culture.
I'm going to get you fresh, and you going to play my shit. Right.
But me, I was already fly and put the record down. Fuck
I'm
out
not
of here.
touching that shit.
I don't want your sneakers. Them shits is, them niggas is wearing them. The whole hip hop and it's about when we pull up. I don't want to see you having on the same shit I got.
Yeah.
Right. Facts. That's
It's
fundamental.
no biting allowed. These niggas is biting. First of all, these foreigners came all the way from wherever they came from to wear some nigga shit.
Nah, real talk.
And do nigga like they wanted to
Yo, Nike is $1 trillion company at this point because niggas all over the world want to wear some nigga shit.
Listen, I was in California wearing a Mexican scarf because it had got cold, and I caught the $5 Mexican scarf. My friend's like, take that off there. I'm like, everybody is. First of all, I'm cold. This is the only thing that's out here that matches with my shit. And Mexicans they cool. Ain't no beef. And everybody else wears everything else of our shit. Even can we wear some of the Muslims
turbans and
shit?
shit.
I be seeing some of the patterns and shit. Is it disrespectful if we take some of that cloth and make some other shit?
Right.
So,
No, I'm just.
No, seriously, yeah. T Money, it's T Money. He got a quick story.
T Money.
He said, shout out.
Shout out to T Money.
In 1992 at WBLS, Jazzy Joyce ran into my brand new truck and knocked off the side mirror. Salute to Joyce, great DJ for the culture.
Niggas is
a motorcycle, right?
Yeah,
Did she knock into your truck with the motorcycle? Because I used to see. Do you remember that?
No.
No, not that particular. I've had a lot
She
of
said, not
accidents.
that particular accident.
I've had a lot of. I crashed on my motorcycle
Oh, my God.
at 110 miles an hour. I had a German helmet on. I fractured my skull. I lost
the
teeth
fuck
back
outta
here.
here.
Come here, feel this.
Oh shit! What the fuck is
Because
that?
the bone, that's the bone.
They fused it.
Because no casting, and then the
right.
clavicle was broken. First of all, I'm left-handed,
Me too.
and I was.
Two left-handed Geminis. That's
Oh.
crazy.
Okay.
Let us in the
Yomi
party.
is Fatima. She said you know her as Fatima.
You're welcome for playing a record. So I was scared I would never DJ or write again.
Yes.
So now look to be able to, I've been through some things.
Yeah, God is good. What else we got?
Just a lot of love. Like shout out to the legend.
Thank you.
Fly. Just,
I can't wait to
love
get
you,
back to
Jazzy. Like
Yeah, you gotta come
a lot of
outside
love,
this
a lot.
summer, man.
You
Yeah,
have to
no,
come-
we started.
Like, the block party is July 13th. I mean,
Am
what's
I-
up?
Yeah, you
what-
got to come
Yeah,
All right.
outside
I
this
mean,
summer,
what's up?
man.
I need a little set. No fighting with nobody. Give me a little set so the other niggas can feel special too. Put me in the middle, not too early, not
Joyce
too.
said she gonna get all that.
Whoever I go on after or before, say hi. It's all love. It's nothing personal, but I'm gonna do what I do.
No,
And we gonna
mad
talk
love
offline.
last year.
I got a question.
It was last-
Yeah, what's-
last summer.
Do you still search for records? Do you still hear new music and play it, or do you, or is most of what you play 80s, 90s, like old?
Nigga,
That's the answer right there. That's the answer.
I'm a pioneer.
Right.
I don't even look like how you. I'm. Let's go. I'm innovator. I'm always listening. As a matter of fact, part of the reason why, besides of everything that was going on the personal side, of why I pulled back is because there wasn't nothing that I wanted to fucking play. And then things that I would want to pull is not necessarily anything that's going on here. But hip hop, when you think about my first party when I was downtown at the Earth's Edge at 13 years old, it was punk rock, everything. When hip hop really came from a mishmash of everything. Because it's little pieces and samples. And there's things that I wanted to play that I knew the world wasn't ready for. I had to let you niggas catch up and start to love the Afro beats. And when you think about people like us, everything comes through the tastemakers and before it comes down into the general space. So for a long time, I just didn't feel inspired beyond what my personal situation was. I just was like, I didn't want to be stuck in that. Think about the fact that if I've been playing Before I Let Go since the 1980 something, that's like 30 years of the same.
Shit, that's like 40 years.
Yeah, of the same fucking record. No, I don't want to play that. I fuck you. I'm tired. I love the record, but you understand where I'm coming.
Right, enough with that shit already.
For me, somebody, cause I'm there with you. It's like I'm stuck there. I can't move. I can't pee. I can't do nothing. So at least I want to try to enjoy what I am presenting, and it's playing that same stuff.
Doesn't do it.
Come on, my nigga.
Right, it doesn't do it.
I mean, it does it at the right place and the right time, but
that ain't the focus.
No, it's
You're
about.
a seeker. You're still trying to find the thing.
No, listen. Think about the fact that we were not, us DJs, all of us, were not allowed the godlike status as the white. But listen, EDM created its own self because DJ Adam, may he rest in peace, wasn't it? AM. He did all of the checkpoints of what it is you're supposed to do to be call yourself a DJ. Like, I can't just go and be like, oh, I'm a janky doctor. I could do I can remove your appendix for cheap.
Right. Or you can't be like, I'm a barber, but I only give baldies. Right. You're not a barber, my nigga.
Right. So EDM made its own. So then it's like making a whole baldy league.
Right.
Only baldies is over here. Right. Only baldy all day. Baldy in the Atlantic.
Baldy in Ibiza, baldy everywhere. Right.
Out in the desert, baldy. No niggas, baldy. Right. So when you think about that and think about the fact that I have not been able to be godlike. Scratch has not been able whoa, pre-pandemic and everything, because I understand and myself and others were always on the internet DJing, but you niggas was running around. Pre-pandemic wasn't doing. Then when the world shut down, y'all like, by then all of us DJs was like,
D Nice took it.
No, he ain't take. He didn't take because I understand everything.
Right.
When I seen it,
what I meant was he took advantage of it.
He cooperated.
Right.
Remember, like I didn't cooperate.
You didn't cooperate.
Right. It's not but it's a galvanization. So when I seen it, I even think I said it in the live. When I seen it, I said, "Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is."
A club quarantine party.
Early. It wasn't even called club quarantine.
Yeah, it was early.
He's my nigga.
Right.
Derek and I grew up like.
Right.
I'm sliding in. What the fuck is you doing? Remember, he was an MC.
My name is D Nice. Right.
Listen, D Nice's emergence came right at when? The technological change. When we were going from CDs, because we went vinyl, CD, very short.
CDJs, right.
Very brief. And that's the point of his transition. Because, his ushering in when he started coming in. And then to come to where he is now. We ain't mad. Us DJs used to... Look, MCs used to be mad when DJs rock. And vice versa. They don't... He was galvanized by the collectives. He was the one. He was playing for them while they were in their house, and it's fun. It is what I love it. I even said, I was like, "Yo, you did that." So now, Where are we with the questions?
Nah, ain't no more questions. We
Yeah.
just talking
Talking,
now.
we
Goddamn
talking.
it, right.
So, yeah,
we
so-
just doing talking that talk now.
Talking, yeah. So he was made to be that man. He was chosen. It's
DJ
not
saved our life though during the pandemic.
right
Yeah.
because you niggas was running and you needed the. But the DJs
Once you
who was
sat
trying
down,
to
you
do
needed that.
Yeah.
right, but there was other. It was, and then once all of that happened,
Official lip game. She said, "Shout out. She'll see you on Friday." She said it too. DJ saved all the lives.
yeah, we
Like we should have been out there clapping for them essential
As
workers.
essential workers,
DJs.
word.
Yeah.
But I think, do you think that DJs have gotten their props on the other side of the pandemic? I'm asking the whole room.
no. As far as what?
Like, as being, DJs became so focal and beneficial to the pandemic for us. And it's not just D-Nice. Like, in my neighborhood, we had St. James Joy. So at 7 o'clock every day, Joville, shout to Joville and St. James Joy, he put his speakers in his yard and was playing from his house. And at 7 o'clock every day, while we was in quarantine, this dude was playing out and on the block. And so what wound up happening, people started coming on their stoops and partying on their stoops.
Yeah.
And then the people came downstairs and party in the street. And he created a whole movement in Clinton Hill because of the pandemic. So it's a
Right.
lot of DJs really put us in a space where, like you said, they saved us during the pandemic.
So then it was up to y'all as a community to
DJs
champion.
were like cocktails during the pandemic.
No, cocktails was like cocktails during the pandemic.
The pandemic was such an interesting phenomenon for all of us. It left no one unturned. I mean, even as I told you, I was doing exterminating business and the fallout in these years. I can even understand how it affected the animals. Because they all, we all in this
Connected, it's the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, so shouts out to D-Nice. He did get recognized like a piece. He got
recognized.
but all of the DJs
But all of
around-
them need to be recognized. All of y'all need to be recognized.
no, because they are trying to take away the power. Not trying to, and then there's no need for us with the machine. Who needs to tell you? Who needs to tell you how to, to pick the songs? Or you pick it yourself on these streaming.
Do you think AI is going to endanger the DJ?
No,
No,
I can answer that.
Okay.
nah. Like AI is gonna assist you with anything. Like think about when you think about technology and the usage of it. The ships that fly and protect the country, the airspace or anything, all those, that's technology.
But I mean, AI is still at its infantile stages. It's still just giving you a generic response.
But
'Cause,
yeah,
even now, I typed into Chat GPT. I'm like, tell me a hip hop shop in Brooklyn, New York.
And it can't give you something intricate.
Right. It was giving me stuff like it didn't give us. It didn't
Right.
say us.
Right.
And then it kept saying we're not in real time though, so
Right. So it's like 1.0.
It's still 1.0, and it still doesn't understand the nuances of say it's almost like like underground rap is the
Right.
real like the streets,
Right.
and then there's
I think with
commercial.
AI, the main major brain component, or whoever's in control of it, you have to understand that we have our language of
Right.
communicating and understanding. So there's only going to be but so much black energy or words, key words, and information that's going to be dropped into it. So, and it's also, you have to be able to speak proper English.
you have to
stuff.
know how to read.
Read,
you have to
yes.
know how to-
So
these words
it's another porthole of intellectual divide.
Like the Sky Pager back then.
Right. But at the same time, there's so much talk about it because they're going to use it for different ways, so they have to get people acclimated.
I know. Do you think it's going to be like another form of like segregation? You know.
Well, my question to you is: you're right about this very
Surveillance.
rudimentary way that it's
Yeah.
And
now,
it's segregation.
But my question to you is: how far is the curve? Because remember, we played Atari and that shit was mad rudimentary.
Right. So when is it gonna
When
catch
right,
up?
it will catch up at a point. So the question is, when will it catch up?
I mean, but I still feel like, speaking of what Joyce was just saying, like there's still nuances and there's still ways that we communicate and we talk that are ever evolving.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still gonna be like kind of like a, you know, like an underground talk or lingo that it's not gonna
That it'll
understand.
never connect
like,
to.
And
Right.
once it connects to it, we're on
Shit
to
is
the
on to the next.
thing,
Right.
you
We're
know?
faster than AI.
Yeah, we're faster than they are.
Talk to the geek. Talk to the geek.
But the point, but the point of that though is that first, we have to be the ones also programming AI so that it learns.
That's
us.
what I was gonna say.
Second point
But do
is
we
that-
want it to
but
really learn
but
us?
the
I'm
second
sorry.
point of that though is that once it does learn us, it catches up to where we're going, right? So then when we are moving on to the next thing, because it's constantly learning, it gets there. So that's why. But we have to be in the room,
Right.
And that's the
So-
point with all technology. We have to be the ones that are programming it, or we have to be the ones that are intentionally added, or it'll never work for
What?
us.
Yeah.
I think we need to have this conversation offline because we're going off topic here.
Right.
Well,
Yes.
in a couple of weeks, we're gonna have Kimberly Gray on, and
Uh-huh.
she is heavy in that space.
So then
that
we'll
AI
then
space.
we'll
And hip-hop.
readjourn
Shouts to
this
Kimberly.
conversation when we
Yeah,
have
because
Kim
we
Gray
about
on.
to
Right,
we about to go. Let's
We
keep
about to
it
go
hip hop.
We going
Yeah. But this has been a great interview.
Thank you.
Like I'm
Same here,
so
same
I am so thankful.
Can I be totally honest?
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, yo, I'm gonna tear him up. He's boring. He's this and that. I thought I was gonna let me tell you,
Right.
during the pandemic, a lot of people wanted to interview me, right? But prior to all of it, I understood that if a motherfucker say some fly fuck shit over the screen, I can't zoom in and just zoom that
Zoom
nigga.
them. You can't zoom
Zoom
them,
and
right.
zoom them. 'Cause I was at early before all of this internet stuff, and I was letting people interview me and stuff, and then I got hit with a shit, and I like
You
real
curved it
quick.
immediately.
No,
Put
real.
the brakes on that motherfucker.
Not even the brakes. I was like,
Nigga, I'll break you.
it wasn't even a guy. It was
Right.
the female.
Right, it don't matter.
No, but it
So
was
how did I do?
awesome. I didn't think because
You said you was going.
no, I'm
You was
just
talking
I'm
shit
being,
before
yeah,
I came
wait a minute. You had to sit up on me. Don't do that Gemini shit. Wait, move your phone. Watch out, it's by the penis. Put it right here. But no, because I keeps it 100 because what it is that I don't like to talk to people who are not knowledgeable, not
me neither.
confident,
Right.
not able to articulate. And a great conversation starts from great questions.
Correct.
You have to have something up here. And most people, most of the time when I give myself to a person and they just stay stuck in one space, and I'm like, there's so much of it.
So much
Much of it is shit. Like inside my head, I'd be like, well, make it spicy. Add some gay shit, something. I don't know.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Give me something
something
to latch onto. I'm gonna tell you that's some very Gemini shit. Like we can't be static.
Listen, we gotta.
Yeah, we can't be static.
Right, but now that I gotta taste it, your je ne sais quoi, my nigga. Yo, I'ma be hitting you. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, ask this motherfucker this
Right.
shit.
Ask you. Hey, you got
Or
my
think
number.
about-
You text
yeah,
me.
you
I'm gonna be
know.
like, yeah. So,
Yo.
and I'm gonna go right into it as soon as you hit me. Because I agree with you. It can't be a stagnant conversation, and that's why I don't write questions. Because I need to be able to have the freedom to pivot when you say some shit I want to grab onto.
Pivot, bitch. Pivot. Now pivot. Promote.
Right.
Now pivot. On back. Now sit your little bent Pivot ass
Where's
back down. That was hip hop that went down.
Yo, we love y'all.
Yes.
You know that though.
And we love you, Jazzy.
And we
Joyce.
love you, Jazzy Joyce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Symposium on Friday, Lincoln
Symposium on
Center.
Pop out.
Sunday, Sherry's Best Start, starting in the
Pop
Bronx.
out.
Yes,
July,
Brooklyn.
Hip Hop Closet.
Hip Hop
Hip
Closet,
Hop
July
Party,
13th.
July
Pop out.
13th.
And
Yes.
book me,
Book.
Jazzy Joyce info@gmail.com.
And we're gonna get Regina Brooks on the line.
Yes.
I'm gonna let her know you
Follow
got a book.
DJ
I
Jazzy
gotta,
Joyce.
cause I want
All
to.
right.
It's like a
Later.
pimple. I want to
Yep.
bust.
Later.
Later. Thank you.